We're ready to take a reflective X-ray shot of your wings. Lower your landing gear and overfly airfield at 0 feet.
Roger, London Tower. This sure is some maiden flight. Well, what's gonna happen? We can't just stay up here forever. But the anti-radiation shield on the reactor will need servicing in 2 hours, 10 minutes, or our passengers will be subjected to radiation exposure. As far as I can see, London, nothing can save us short of a miracle.
That's just what you might get.
Go ahead, John.
We have our first emergency call, Father. The new Fireflash Mach 6 atomic airliner is in distress at London Airport.
Give me the lowdown, John.
Thunderbird 1 from Space Station. They're trying to dislodge the bomb by aerobatics, but they're not having much success.
Still no sign of Sidewinder, Charlie. Gee, it looks a real inferno down there. Those guys are in some danger.
Go ahead, John.
I've just picked up some U.S. Army transmissions, Father. One of their new Sidewinders seems to have fallen into some kind of underground fire, and one of the officers has gone down to take a look.
Okay, John, let's have a listen to him.
Switching it through now.
John?
Yes, Father?
John, I want you to keep this frequency clear. Down here, I'm going to put Scott on emergency standby.
FAB, Father.
Calling International Rescue. This is General Peters, U.S. Army.
Go ahead, John.
Father, General Peters has just radioed in. They do want our help.
All right, John. Tell them we're on our way.
Yes, Father.
International Rescue Space Station. This is Thunderbird 1. Have you had any more information, John?
Information to date tells us that this machine fell into a crater some 300 feet in depth. It is a blazing inferno. The machine weighs some 500 tons, and it's on its side, which means it can't move. Origin of crater unknown.
Calling International Rescue. This is Brains at Allington Suspension Bridge, England.
This is John Tracy at International Rescue Satellite. Is that you, Brains? What's up?
Listen to me, John, and listen to me carefully. I've got a job for you.
I'm all ears, Brains. What are you whispering for? Yeah, okay, Brains. I get the picture. Thunderbirds 1 and 4 required. Stand by.
There's only 7 hours before the rocket blasts off, Father.
Okay, John. Tell Brains we'll be there as soon as we can. We've been waiting for some action.
Right, Dad. Over and out.
Base from Thunderbird 5. Base from Thunderbird 5. Calling International Rescue.
Go ahead, John. Any more news about the Hudson building?
Well, the latest newscast is not too hopeful, I'm afraid. The fire department have got there now, but they're not having much success.
I see. What does Brains make of it?
Well,
Brains reckons it must have been some kind of incendiary explosion to cause so much fire so quickly.
Hold it, John. Here's another newscast coming up.
The janitor of the building, Sam Saltzman, said that he and his wife were watching television at the time of the explosion, and that the incident was preceded by the arrival at the building of Hudson employee Thomas Prescott. We need your help.
Go ahead, 2-1. What's your problem?
One of our agents is sitting on a nuclear explosion that'll destroy half of England.
Wowee, that's serious. Give me the details.
Everybody's giving them as Christmas presents this year.
Right, Scott. Anything special you would like, John? How about a bright little diamond?
Well, I think I'd rather have a dirty old, bar of gold.
Do you think you're really going to find buried treasure down there, Brains?
Come in, please.
This is International Rescue. We're receiving your call.
go ahead, please. Then you can't reach the tractor because of the state of the ground?
Right.
The explosions cut the ground up so bad, we just daren't chance our weight on it.
Okay, Mr. Gray. We're on our way.
I told him we'd be there, Father. I hope I did right.
Of course you did right, son. What's that supposed to mean, anyway?
I left the name of the guy who's going to be rescued till last.
Why? Who is it?
Eddie Houseman. What do we do? Turn this call down?
No, John, we don't turn down any call. Go ahead, John.
Father, wonderful news about Scott. He's had a bit of a knock, but apart from that, seems okay. Well, I haven't got the full story yet, Father, but it seems he had to make a forced landing.
Well, you can fill in the details later. Do you have his position?
Yes, Father. Reference 6793.
What's the latest about Scott, Father?
Oh, Tintin's fixed him up all right.
Got any ideas who they might have been, Father?
No, John, it's a real mystery.
I guess he doesn't have to do his spell of satellite relief until he's fit, Father.
Well, John, we'll see tomorrow when they get home.
Hi, Ellen. Hey, it'll be good to get home.
Yeah. Anything that needs watching?
Keep listening to band 794, Lisa Beam 22. It's very faint. I figure someone's in trouble, but I'm not sure.
Band 794. That's the Sahara area.
I was figuring maybe it was the two archaeologists who found Scott. They've been trying to reach their base camp.
Okay, John. I'll keep watch. See ya. Base Camp Salah from Lindsay. This morning, British plane Fireflash disappeared on its flight to San Francisco. Earlier this year, on its maiden flight, the Fireflash had a bomb fixed to its undercarriage. All Fireflashes have been grounded pending tests.
Sabotage again?
I doubt it. With the precautions they take now, sabotage is unlikely.
But why should an aircraft like that suddenly disappear?
Metal fatigue?
I guess it could be 101 things. We'd better watch these test flights pretty closely. Go ahead, John.
Emergency call from London, England, requesting immediate action.
Okay, John. I'll get you to brief Scott. There's very little time on this one.
FAB, I'll clear the air and remain on standby.
John will brief you as soon as you're on your way.
I've received the details of the emergency from John.
International rescue from space station. Thunderbird 2 has landed safely.
Scott reports that owing to the underground cables and communications in London, the mole cannot be used.
Good to see you, John. You were late. There's nothing wrong, is there?
No, sorry about that. There was a lot on. What with Lady Penelope arriving and one thing and another.
How is she?
Very anxious to go out on a rescue.
Can you hear us? Are you receiving our message?
International rescue to Saharan Station. We picked up your emergency call.
That's the situation, Father. If the reactor explodes, the radioactivity will do unthinkable damage.
Radio the station, John. Tell them help is on its way. John will fill in the details and give you the exact position as soon as you're airborne.
Hadn't we better call them?
No, look. John's coming through from the space station.
I've just been advised of the current situation. Gordon is standing by, awaiting instruction to destroy the sea intake. Scott and Virgil have donned protective clothing and are going into the reactor control room.
I've got to get ready to relieve John in an hour.
Less than 2 hours to go, then back to Earth. I can't wait to dive into that pool. Sure gets lonely up here. So quiet. Still, not much longer now.
Calling International Rescue. Calling International Rescue.
I spoke too soon.
Calling International Rescue. This is Thompson Tower. Do you read me?
Thompson Tower from International Rescue, receiving you, strength 5. Go ahead. Okay, we'll get help to you as quickly as possible.
Go ahead, John.
The new Thompson Tower is on fire, Father. 3 people are trapped beneath the building. There's not much time.
Come in, please. This is Search Control SO3. Go ahead. Tracking device DKO has developed a fault. We are non-operational as of now.
That was the message I picked up, Dad. The space station watching for us in the whole Pacific area has closed down for 4 hours.
Thanks, John. It doesn't make much difference. If we did manage to take off without being discovered, they'd track us on the return trip.
Yeah, I guess so. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay. How's it going down there, anyway?
We're plowing through the agent's reports, hoping for a lead.
I wish you luck.
Message received. Thanks, John. Hold it a minute. It's John calling in from the space station. Yes, John? What's new?
I've had an emergency call from a guy named Bonson. It's kind of unusual. I don't know what to make of it.
Okay, let's have the details, John.
Well, this fellow has got something to do with the British Secret Service.
Now, hold on, John. The British Secret Service has its own operators and methods. Why do they need us?
Well, that's the whole point. Bonson says if we don't help, the entire world could be destroyed.
That's quite a statement. Okay.
Falling over a cliff edge. I think my leg's broken. Please save me.
This is International Rescue calling. Are you receiving me? Over.
Sounded like a small boy, Australian.
Didn't he say where he was?
No, said he was lost, but I couldn't ask any questions. He was only transmitting. All I got was that he was trapped on a ledge and couldn't move. He sounded pretty scared.
What do you think, Scott?
Well, there isn't much to go on. If only we knew the exact location.
Fortunately, he stayed on the air long enough for me to get a fix on him. I've got his location to within a mile.
John will give you your directions when you're skyborne. Right, John? Scott's on his way. Leave it to us.
I'm worried about that kid. If he's as scared as he sounded, he could panic and fall.
Okay. Watch out for him transmitting again, John. You could then get a more precise fix on him.
International Rescue?
International Rescue here. We're receiving a call. Over.
Oh, boy, look, you've got to come.
There was this guy who tricked us into the mine. When Bob and me were both in here, I guess he must have thrown in a bomb.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that Tony? Tony and Bob?
Yes, it is.
Now, son, we told you not to involve us in your game.
You know, fantastic as their story was, they had me believing them at times.
Okay, thanks for reporting it, John.
How do you like that? A man tricking 2 kids into a mine, then throwing in a bomb. And then John turns around and says he started to believe them.
That's not John's fault, Virgil.
Just thought I'd let you know that Tony and Bob must have gone home for tea. They stopped calling.
I knew they would if we took no notice. Thanks, John.
International Rescue. Calling International Rescue.
John will give you the final details when you're in the air.
Well, I'll be...
Gee, already?
Okay, John. Let's have it.
There's a distress call come in from Oahu in the Pacific, Father, requiring immediate action.
What's the trouble, John?
A typhoon just hit the island, Father, and struck the hospital full force. The foundations are crumbling, and the patients are in extreme danger.
Right, John. Brief Scott when he's airborne. This has got to be quick.
FAB, switching to standby now.
But it seems a mighty long way to come just to pick up a reel of tape.
Not at all, Alan. For analytical purposes, a recording made outside the Earth's atmosphere is much cleaner.
Okay, Brains, let's move. The sooner I get you back to the base, the sooner you'll be able to work out an answer. See you then, boy.
See you, John. Oh, and hey, don't forget, you owe me 6 hours.
Yeah, see you. Stand by for blast off.
And there's quite a lot of mist around, too, which is going to help matters.
Can hardly hear you, Scott. This interference is really getting worse.
Just take a look at that.
Terrifying, isn't it? We're never gonna find the tanker in all this. See if we can get through to Scott and home on his signal.
Thunderbird 2 calling Ocean Pioneer. Come in, Scott. Nothing.
Calling Thunderbird 2.
There he is. Come in, Scott. Where are you? There she goes.
Not a moment to waste.
Okay, John. On your way.
Right, Virgil. Keep her steady. Here goes.
Okay, Virgil. As soon as John hits the deck, stand well clear till I send for you.
How's it coming, Scott?
I'm nearly there, John.
Say they look in bad shape, Scott.
Yeah. Now, come on.
Just look.
Now, this can only mean one thing. We must be right over the OD-60 now.
Virgil, you better come in and stand by. And step on it, or we might not be around when you get here. He's bringing around the crew. Okay, Virgil. You're right above us. Start dropping. Hold it there, Virgil. Okay, Virgil. Down rescue gear.
Okay, Virgil. Pull away. And you make it snappy.
FAB, Scott.
As
There's no sign of him anywhere.
Thunderbird 1 from Thunderbird 2. Come in, Scott. The interference is cleared, but Scott doesn't answer.
He just got to have made it.
Thunderbird 1, come in, please. Do you read me?
I still say that 120,000 tons of ship stands for a heck of a lot of capital investment, Scott, and we should have tried towing her out.
Sure. Oh, sure, boy. But do you reckon we could have made it in time?
Who knows? That's all part of the game, isn't it?
Now, hold it, boys. John, how many rescues have you been out to?
Well, I guess about a dozen, Father.
Scott?
All of them, Father.
Okay. And yet you still argue.
Oh, we weren't arguing, sir.
No, we were just discussing it, Father.
Listen, if a building falls down, he can soon build it up again. Your job is to save lives that are in danger.
Yeah, sure, Father.
I'll get John to trace the exact course of the Duchess's bleep signal. That'll make it easier for John to get a precise fix on it. Now we'll see how soon John can get a fix on the Duchess.
Thunderbirds 1 and 2 from Thunderbird 5.
Loud and clear, John.
Hello, John. What's the verdict?
You'll find the Duchess at map reference Alpha Zeta 9, Beta 4.
Thanks, John. We're on our way.
Gee, that's a lonely spot.
What's the latest signal from the Duchess, John?
Still the same, Scott. At least the transmitter Penelope gave her is still signaling from the same location. Yes, Scott, she's still transmitting.
My name is Tracy. I'm aboard the Pacific Atlantic monotrain.
Go ahead. Tracy, this is International Rescue.
This is urgent.
Is anyone with you?
And one other man and a girl are aboard.
Okay, Mr. Tracy. We're on our way.
Go ahead, John.
Scott, Dad, Brains, and Tintin are in trouble. That monotrain is heading for disaster. The train's out of control and heading for a crash.
Base to Thunderbird 5.
Oh, dear, that means we're out of touch with John.
Yes, Mother, our whole organization is thrown out of action until we can get through to John in the space station. We were talking about... Go ahead, John.
Gee, Dad, am I glad to be back in touch. What happened?
There's now 3 of these monsters attacking the house.
Giant alligators?
It's a lonely spot far up the river. It might be a tricky spot to land. The terrain sounds treacherous.
All right, John, tell them we're on our way.
Calling International Rescue. This is the Goldheimer Film Unit. We need your help desperately. Urgent!
Go ahead, John.
2 actors are trapped by a landslide in the Nevada desert. Some sort of accident during the filming. They're in a cave that is flooding. Seems they haven't got long.
Yeah, it's great.
This is RTL2 calling Central Control.
I'll get John in the satellite to radio us a recording of that Cass Carnaby broadcast.
But John's only just begun his term of duty in the space station. I'll just check things with John.
International Rescue from Thunderbird 5. What's new, Father?
Penny has persuaded me to join her in Australia for a short vacation.
Gee, that's great, Dad. I figure it's about time you had a rest.
Nothing much happening to concern us, Father. Just the World Navy are on an exercise in the Atlantic.
I contact John in Thunderbird 5. Thunderbird 5 from International Rescue. Come in, John.
International Rescue from Thunderbird 5. Hi, Scott. What's wrong?
Well, nothing, John.
Why the call then, Scott?
Well, it's still quiet up here. There's just the World Navy getting ready for their target shot.
That's right, Scott. Missile exploded on a seabed.
Well, what's the Navy reaction?
From the radio calls I'm picking up, a lot of people are hopping mad, but it seems there's no danger.
Well, that's something.
Yeah, but boy, did it cause havoc with the ocean. The water's still boiling if a guy named Hooper on the seascape's anything to go by.
Thunderbird 5 from International Rescue Base. Come in, John.
Base from Thunderbird 5. What's up, Scott?
Oh, nothing, John.
Oh, it's all quiet here.
How about that atomic explosion in the Atlantic?
No problems there. The sea's calmed down. Guess the guys on that rig are glad about that.
jet sighted. 30 miles west.
Go ahead, John. What's happening?
Looks as though that atomic explosion caused more damage than was first thought.
How's that?
Superintendent Hooper on the seascape has sent out an alarm call.
There's a 200-foot jet of fire blazing up 30 miles from the rig.
Are the guys on the seascape in danger?
It's not certain yet, Scott.
Well, you'd better get in contact.
Okay.
Drilling rig Seascape from International Rescue. Do you read me?
Come in, Seascape. Yes. What are the dangers?
Can you give me complete details?
I guess so.
What is the extent of the field?
Go ahead, John.
That gas field has blown again.
You mean the sealing device didn't work?
It worked fine, Scott. This is another fire jet 5 miles east of the last one. Base from Thunderbird 5. The Seascape's in trouble, Scott. A support column slipped. The fire's moving much faster than we thought. It's found an outlet close to the rig.
Well, what are they doing about it?
Hooper and O'Shea are going down in a diving sphere. Base from Thunderbird 5. We've got a real emergency on our hands now, Scott. Those two guys are trapped in the diving sphere at the bottom of the rig.
But you have warned the village.
Oh, yeah. One of the transporters has gone to assist in evacuation. If that machine gets near the village, the processing plant will get jammed for sure.
Okay, Crablogger Base. We're on our way.
There's just one other thing.
Well, that's the position, Father. The controller at the Crablogger Base seemed to think it was pretty desperate.
Right, Scott. You'd better get out there straight away. Stay in touch with the satellite. John will keep you posted. What's the latest, John?
Well, Father, Virgil and Brains got the two guys out of the Crablogger, and base control are having them shipped out to hospital.
Good. And now they're waiting.
That's right. I'm standing by to transmit Penelope's instructions for the close down of the reactor.
Do you hear me, John? Come in, Thunderbird 5. Base to Thunderbird 3.
Gordon stayed to help John. It looks like we'll be another 2 hours before we're back in business. In the meantime, International Rescue is non-operational.
Calling International Rescue.
Loud and clear, Carlville.
Go ahead.
The trial flight of the rocket was a complete success.
Oh, fine.
The operation will proceed on Christmas Day as planned.
Thanks, Carlville.
What will be the rocket's ETA?
0900 hours.
Right. We'll be ready at 0915 to pick up the lucky winner.
Thank you, International Rescue.
Go ahead, John.
Carlville Hospital is given the go-ahead, Father.